And this stuff drives me as a human being, not as a retailer, insane, because I cannot imagine using that same excuse or what feels like to this person a justification in any aspect of my life. I would never be able to say that to any company I buy stuff from, utility I use, doctor I see.
In the Midwest, you know the best is there waiting, so come and join the conversation. Hides the approved, fan and artist and creator too. This is how the challengers do. What? Keep the conversation moving along. Keep reading comics, keep your local store strong. It gets hard, then it's a job for the challengers. What? Comics and conversation, y'all.
From
Challengers Comics in Chicago.
This is Contest of Challengers, a comics industry business podcast with
Patrick Brower.
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 Patrick Brower and W. Dal Bush.
W. Dal Bush.
Dal Bush.
Dal Bush.
Dal.
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 W. Dal Bush.
My goodness, back in the podcastatorium.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been forever.
It has basically been forever.
Yeah. Otherwise, the outlook on life is no different.
Yes, I guess.
You know, just different surroundings.
Okay.
I see you have your version of a Thanos copter up on the...
New, it's Condor, the mask motorcycle, piloted by Brad Turner.
Such basic white names.
Yeah.
Steve Johnson, one of them.
Matt Tracker was the other one.
Wasn't he a WWE announcer? Oh, it's Matt Stryker. Sorry. Well, I've got a bunch of tiny little notes. I just don't quite know where to begin.
Okay.
Because nothing is of any real, substance or permanence, but...
I suppose. Did you hear the DC announced a few new things about the...
What is their new initiative called?
Next Level. Next Level. They announced creative teams for 2 new books that are coming up.
No, I've not heard.
Zatanna ongoing series.
Okay.
By?
Jamal Campbell.
Just the most easy to guess thing from the original roster of characters.
But who
creators?
Who's the artist?
Jamal Campbell.
No, you said ongoing.
Well, I'm sure there will be other creators involved. That's how every series works. The other one is Fury of Firestorm. Written by...
Wait, hold on. Is it Fury of Firestorm, the Nuclear Man?
I think it's just...
That was the full title.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Back when I was reading that book in the 80s.
Sure. It might have a subtitle, too. I don't know.
Okay. John Ostrander?
No.
Tom Mandrake?
No. Although, yes, originally, but not now. Jeff Lemire is writing it.
Okay.
Rafael Delator, who is the artist on that Penguin series that Tom King wrote,
okay,
is the artist.
Just not excited anymore.
I know. I'm interested in both of those. I didn't really hang around with the Jamal Campbell Zatanna series too long, but I'm glad that it existed, and it seemed like people really liked it, and it definitely, as a retailer, seems like a book that would do well in the market right now. A Firestorm book is always a crapshoot. I don't know if the market cares about Firestorm, but I will certainly give it a read.
I used to like Firestorm a lot.
Same here.
I remember buying it at Northern Lights bookstore in DeKalb when I was in college.
Yeah.
Just off the shelf. You know, we had George and I had our pulls list back home, but I would buy stuff randomly. There's some stuff I couldn't wait for, so we had a whole slew of doubles for like a year and a half.
Your various Spider-Mans, I'm sure.
Grimjacks, things like that, things I didn't want to wait on.
So you subscribed to Grimjack and you also bought it off the shelf?
Well, yeah, because I couldn't wait because the books were being pulled.
But why get it pulled then? If you knew you were going to buy it off the shelf?
Well, because what if I didn't? What if I missed it? What if I forgot? What if it was sold out? What if I didn't have it?
Was that likely? I mean, do you remember missing stuff?
It wasn't the point. The point that I had some extra money to spend on comics.
Sure.
And I bought the ones I really wanted to read.
Okay.
For a while there, I had like a full double set of Grimjack, which why not? It's one of the greatest books ever written and drawn.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. I may still have them. I did give up some of them, though, to IDW so they could do their full reprint library.
Mm-hmm.
They needed some...
We're the cause.
The case files, as it were. Happy to do it. Basically, the Steve Pugh covered ones they needed.
Okay.
Which were just reprints anyway.
Sure.
That's how good the book was. It was reprinted in single issues.
Neat.
Yeah. What was I even talking about?
No idea.
Firestorm.
Yeah.
So I bought an issue of Firestorm, and I went up to the front counter. There were 2 main guys who worked there, and one of them said, "Oh, what is his power? Giving everybody cancer?"
Grimjack?
No, Firestorm.
Oh, okay.
I said going back to Firestorm.
I got confused for a second there. The Nuclear Man, his power is giving everyone cancer.
Yeah. There you are. There's a Firestorm anecdote for you.
Power is that his head's on fire, which is cool, man.
Right?
That's just a cool visual.
You can have s'mores whenever he's around.
Yeah.
Provided you have everything else. It's the beginning of the year, so different publishers want to talk to retailers and get some opinions on the status of the market and how books can sell better and things like that.
Yeah.
And I had multiple calls this week, multiple calls along with Torma from Oni. And when describing the market to him today, in today's space, not like this day,
Yeah, you didn't do it earlier today.
I came up with an analogy that I'm going to use.
Okay.
New comics today are like going to a massive buffet.
Okay.
There's so much of everything.
Mhm.
But let's say it's a breakfast buffet.
Mhm.
Everybody's going to be taken from the bacon and the eggs and the sausage.
Yeah.
So the melon balls are going to rot.
The breakfast potatoes may or may not go.
Yeah, there's certain foods that are just going to spoil.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough people eating them.
Yeah. Some people will spend time at the omelet station, but some people just don't care that much. They're
Yeah.
just going to get the scrambled eggs.
So
Good analogy.
yeah, thanks. There's just too many things out there, and things will get overlooked, and they will spoil. They will get canceled.
Yes, they will get cancer.
They will be given cancer by Firestorm the Nuclear Man. Ronnie Raymond, you menace.
I blame Professor Stein for that, but whatever.
I frequently, when anyone uses the word buffet, I think back to a Kiss video that I watched, like a videotape you
I heard it in my head.
a million years ago.
I've heard you do the buffet line.
Yeah.
So as soon as you said it, I'm like, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to derail him.
Oh no, I'm not going to do it either. But it's
But in my head, I heard it.
Yeah. Gene Simmons was trying to compare something to a buffet, like music to a buffet. He goes, it's like a buffet. And Paul cuts in and says, "That's a new Gene song. Loves a buffet. I'm going to eat you." Just one of the many, many times Paul would undermine Gene in public. There's a great video out there where they're giving an interview, and Gene's like spouting his
High-minded.
but like his go-to comments and whatever, and Paul just keeps like cutting him down and like basically saying like, "Well, that never happened," like planting his bet. And he's like, "Hold on," hold on, stop recording. Will you cut that out? Will you quit undermining me? I'm trying to give a serious interview. Will you stop? And all I could think of is, no, he needs more of that.
Yes. You have to do more to humble Gene Simmons.
And they actually released this on a live video of Paul doing that. And it's, yeah. So I said I'm not going to do it, and I totally did it.
Well, you needed to for context because we were already talking about it, and people maybe can't hear inside my brain.
My breakfast analogy had nothing to do with that line.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that whenever I hear the word buffet, I think that.
Yeah.
And you do too now. Well, and you're welcome.
The listener, yes. I mean,
No, I mean you. I personally.
Well, I hear it a lot because I have literally heard you do it a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's like, oh yeah, no, I have the same touchdown so much as like, no, Patrick would constantly do this. I'm going to eat you. Like it's, yeah, no, I've heard that a lot.
And again, I reiterate, you're welcome.
Uh-huh. This is the sort of analysis that people at comic companies are lucky to get from Patrick.
And they do. One of the reasons that Torma and I had multiple calls is because he only had a limited time for the first one, and I did not let him get to the subject because I just kept going off in other directions.
That sounds like a discussion with Patrick, yes.
Yeah. And he was happy to take to follow to be part of this.
He's getting paid either way.
We're very similar conversationally, me and Torma. Torma's a good guy. So here's a fun little tidbit. I opened a file just trying to rename things for the new year and clean things up. And I opened a new release file from July 28th, 2021.
Okay.
So 4.5 years ago. And looking at the output from the two major publishers, Marvel had 15 books out for the week.
Okay. Titles. This isn't like covers or whatever.
Right. Just titles. Although back then I used to put parentheses 2 covers, parentheses 3 covers. I don't do that now on the new release board. Of those 15 books, can you tell me how many of those titles are still active today?
Would you count like...
No, I would not.
Okay.
Because that is an anecdote to this.
Okay. 2?
Okay. DC had 12 new periodical books for the week.
Okay.
How many do they still have?
3?
Okay, so for Marvel, the answer is 0.
Okay.
However, there was a Moon Knight series and there was a Miles Morales series. They're now different series.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it in terms of like Infernal Hulk is the Hulk book, and there's been continuously a Hulk book for,
Sure.
a decade, but it's been like 4 different Hulk titles.
Right. So that's why I said like those didn't count, but Moon Knight is the one I would maybe let carry because it's been Jed McKay the entire time.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I mean, if they're canceling it and restarting it with a new number 1, even with the same writer or creative team, like for all intents and purposes, it is a different book.
Okay. DC had 1 Nightwing.
Oh, okay.
But 3 others, Catwoman, Flash, and Justice League, which have new iterations now. Although actually Catwoman never start over. Catwoman's in like the 80s, right?
Yeah, I don't think they've done a new number 1.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so Catwoman, it's 2. It's 2 and 2. So Marvel had 0 and 2.
Was the Jor-El one a new number 1? I think it was.
Yes.
And then before that, there was the new 52 version.
That Catwoman started the same time that Captain America started over with Ta-Nehisi Coates and Star Wars started over.
Wow.
It was the same point of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. I just thought that was fascinating. And I thought it was going to be wildly swung in Marvel's favor of nothing new, but I was surprised that DC only had 2.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel will definitely restart things a lot faster. That's the thing that coming up with some of the post DCKO stuff is kind of a head scratcher for me, because there's a number of books that they're giving new creative teams to and new, maybe even new titles, new directions, but they're not doing new number 1s. Like Flash, Aquaman, and Titans have changes made, but the numbers are just sequential numbers. And it's just like, that was a problem when they were doing, what was the last All In, where they took some books and they made some changes. They didn't renumber them. And anything they didn't renumber sold way less than books that had new number 1s.
Yeah.
And even if you constantly told people like, no, you can pick up Titans, it's fine, people would just see a higher number and be like, no, I feel like I'll have to go back and get the last like 17. And it's like, you definitely don't. But they don't believe that.
What do retailers always ask for? Longer running series.
Yeah. And so that was the time where I was just like, no, do no number 1s. Like, regardless of if it's right or wrong, and if you want the market to behave like that or not, this is the reality of the situation. And you have to play the market as it is right now, not the market you wish it was. Unless you're fine losing a bunch of money by having books pushed out to market that are not released in a way that the audience wants to see, and therefore they're not going to buy.
Now, in keeping with that philosophy and the next level books, do you think that, for New Titans, for example, should that start over at number 1?
It should have, yes. I think
the upcoming change. Yeah.
I think that's in the new catalog, and they didn't.
Yeah.
I think the Ryan North Flash thing should have been renumbered. I think that should have been your number 1. I mean, I don't care that it was on like 22 or whatever. Like, who cares? Do a new number 1.
But what was that? It was at 222. Would you say the same thing?
Yeah, because they can always do the stupid, like, issue 28 is the Legacy 250. Who cares? Avengers just did that. Issue 34 or whatever of the Jed McKay run is issue 800.
Yeah.
But the next issue is issue 35.
Speaking of Avengers 800, when I was reading my copy of Avengers 800, by the way, that's this week.
Way to brag about it.
It came out this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I got to the center page, it fell out.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to put this back in. But then I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I can't. It's completely split where the staple would go. Like it got pulled out, right? Well, I found out today, thanks to Mitchell Davies, that is a widespread problem with Avengers number 800. The middle page is falling out. It's as widespread as the blind bags for Ultimate Endgame. I thought, how does that happen?
Yeah. I mean, you could say it's because there's more pages in the book, but it's like, I'm sure the printers printed books of that count and higher before.
The staples are in.
This isn't a new
thoroughly.
Yeah.
And now I have to figure out, like, is this happening? Like, are all of our copies that we have left bad? How do we report this?
Well, again, if it's that widespread, then it becomes a Penguin Random House Marvel problem.
Oh, like the blind bags.
Yeah. Which they'll either do something or they won't. And you reporting it as a damage doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah. But then we have to, like, what about all the ones we sold so far?
Yeah. Again, like, if they're all like this, it's not a damage, it's a manufacturing defect.
Yeah.
Like, a damage I can replace or do something about. A manufacturing defect is, do you want Avengers 800 or do you not? I don't know. If you want it, this is how it is. If you don't, I understand, and you're okay not getting it.
Just annoying that there's such a lack of quality control currently.
Sure. And what's extra irritating about it is if it were any other publisher, it'd be like, oh, they'll fix it. But with Marvel, it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're just like, I don't know. Sorry. We'll work to make sure it doesn't happen again. Great. That doesn't do me any good right now.
I mean, look, I still read the pages.
Sure. I'm sorry about that.
And I just folded it up and put it back in because my brother has to read it next. Want to make sure he at least gets it.
Mm-hmm.
What he chooses to do with it,
yeah,
up to him. There were so many topics that came up this week. I'm like, oh my God, we have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Then I didn't write any of them down.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? We were very fortunate to be part of MSN.com's 15 best comic book stores in the country as voted on by devoted fans or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the exact name of it. And it is a thing I didn't know existed. And literally what happened was John Dudas from Carol and John's comic shop in Cleveland posted it, that he was on it. And the image defaults to the, like, Austin Books and Comics is on the front of the listicle. And I'm like, oh man, I wish we'd be on something like that. And I'm like, I want to see who made the cut when we didn't.
Mm-hmm. So
I started flipping through it, and sure enough, we're on the list.
We made the cut when we didn't.
Now, I didn't know anything about it, and I hadn't seen it. I figured that MSN would have, like, reached out to the stores that were part of it or said something about it to see if they could spread it around to get readership on it. Or usually you get notifications and stuff like that.
I do, and I don't recall getting one for that. So either it was buried so deep in it, or because it was a slideshow, I don't know how it works.
And honestly, it was only a little paragraph that the reporter had written, but it was great. It was a really, really good write-up, and I was incredibly proud of it. And it, honestly, as much as I hate this phrase, I felt like the store was seen.
Aw.
And it was so good. And this is a topic that you had pointed out that, you'll have to rephrase it for me, but whenever you post something like that, you proudly say, look at what the store has accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
There are always a number of people that will complain that their favorite store isn't on the list.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch, like, on different store owners had shared this list. Like Ralph from Alternate Reality in Vegas shared it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, John Dudas had shared it. We shared it. And on Ralph's, somebody said, no Chicago comics? Like, first of all, you're commenting on a post from a store in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, you're complaining about a store not being on the list.
Yeah.
Write your own list.
Yeah. It's
on one of the one, like I reposted it a bunch of places, and somebody responded on mine, the store's one. It's Dark Tower in Lincoln Square for me.
okay.
And I wanted to say,
Thanks for posting that on this.
I wanted to say, okay, well, go post about that on their MSN 15 Best Comic Stores in the Country article.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't.
No, but you thought it, and
I did.
It's always a little disappointing, that aspect of, you know, you're trying to say, hey, I achieved something, and everyone else is saying, or other people are saying, random people that you don't even know are saying, oh, well, this thing I like better should have achieved it instead. And it's like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah.
Like, someone said something nice about me. I'm sorry they also didn't say something nice about the thing you like, but that's not, A, it's not my problem, and B, it's rude to say that to somebody.
There is
It's because they're explicitly not saying, like, you didn't deserve it. But what they're saying is the thing I like deserve it equally or more. And it's like, well,
Is because I like it.
then basically you are saying I didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like you're trying not to say that, but you are saying that. And that's why it's rude.
Many years ago, when there were still the Bendis message boards,
Mm-hmm.
somebody very nicely started a thread about how much they liked our store.
Mhm.
And we were within our first or second year. And there was
Rosy cheek.
a then like a pseudo local comic artist who immediately tried to brag about the store he liked better
Mm-hmm.
on that thread,
Yeah.
when it was just like it was a pro challengers thread.
Yeah. It wasn't shops in Chicago.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, what store does everybody like? Chime in. It was someone saying, it basically is like if you posted on something and said, I really like pepperoni pizza. I think pepperoni pizza is great. Like, who wants to talk about pepperoni pizza? And someone immediately has to slide in and go, hamburgers are awesome. It's like, okay, but that's not what we're doing here. Why are you reorienting it towards the thing you like instead of the thing that I brought up that I like?
So now this artist is finally gaining prominence in the industry. I don't know why. I've never been a fan of their work, but obviously this has colored my judgment of it. I do remember one time they were in the store looking around for a party we were throwing, not because they were shopping. God forbid. They were just there to drink free beer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard them say to somebody, what do I have to do to get them to carry my books? And in my head, I said, don't be a dick.
There was, I think, a time where I had on one of our various like new catalog emails or whatever, I had mentioned a book in promotion that they were working on, and you were unhappy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I get it, but this is a prominent book and we probably need to try and sell it. Like, but after that, I did not fight that fight anymore. I'm like, no, I just won't mention that.
To this day, I will not go out of my way to promote their work. I will carry it.
Right.
In fact, they were drawing a book that I really liked the writer and the book itself,
Mhm.
but I cannot, in good conscience, ever promote this person's work because of that.
Sure.
And that kind of stuff is something that people should be cognizant of. Is it petty and small-minded? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should he have done it in the first place? Hell no.
Yeah.
Especially if you then turn around and be like, why would you carry my work? And it all could have been avoided if he would have started his own thread praising the store he liked even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will happily tell anybody in person who this person is so they can hate them as much as I do. Plus, I just don't think they're a very good artist.
Yeah, that definitely is part of it.
Yeah. It would.
You do nothing.
Do you like?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't have a horse in this race, so to speak. Their art isn't so great where I'm like, I gotta secretly be a fan of theirs.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I would actually be torn if they were good.
Yeah. And I mean, in this instance, like, this is a challenger's thing. Patrick, more than me, but I'm sure me in ways that I don't even recognize, will sometimes carry a grudge against people where he just, like, it's never going to get solved.
It is both of us.
It is both of us. But I definitely see it more in you because I refuse to see it in me because I don't ever do it.
And I'm more vocal about it.
But it's a thing that I generally don't push back on because almost every time it's a grudge that Patrick holds, it's the thing I don't either know about or care about. So, like, if he wants the store to take a stance on it, fine. I'm okay with that. Like, I
thought there was a fear because you don't want to be lumped into it as well. Like,
no, I don't care.
Now, no, right. But if you did take a stand, then it'd be like, oh, Dal's siding with that guy. Okay. I won't forget that, Dal.
Oh, no. I mean, like, obviously, like, if it was something, like, I'm talking about more like petty grudge sort of stuff. Like, if there's legitimately people that have wronged you, that's it for me too.
And if there was an unreasonable thing that I was doing that you felt strongly against, and you vocalize it to me, it would in fact make me
we'd have a discussion.
Have to reevaluate my position if you felt strongly enough to talk about it.
Yeah, we'd have a discussion.
But your silent disapproval is the same thing to me as approval. Right. So it counts as you being on my side.
Yeah, and again, like almost all these things are I don't want like not almost all these things. Most of these things I feel like are like social media things that happen outside of my direct knowledge.
Sure.
So to me, I don't care. Like, if you want to get mad about it, great. If you don't want to get mad about it, I don't care. Like, it has nothing to do with me. Even though in a lot of ways, like, it is the store taking a stance, because Patrick will, how the store conducts itself online or who we deal with or what we talk about with other people or whatever becomes a reflection of the store. And in these circumstances, again, I don't care if that becomes a store policy.
Well, like mostly in the examples I was giving, not with the artist, but with the person about the 15 stores.
Sure.
The thing that I angrily said in my head, I didn't say to him.
No.
I did say, hey, have you ever been to Challengers? And they never responded. They never answered. It turns out that person, in fact, managed, quote unquote, Chicago comics in like the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
So that's why they're like, Chicago comics is better. I also wanted to say, hey man, have you been there in a while?
And it's a good store. Like it's, there's any number of popularity contest things that we've lost or not even been considered for. And it's fine. It's,
it's just the specific things that we're being praised about in our write-up are not things I would transfer to specific other stores in the city.
Yeah, and I think some of it is also like you felt a real sense of pride in the write-up and the recognition and the list of stores that you were included with. And so to have someone immediately swing in before anyone else really saw it or was able to congratulate you on it, to have someone swing in with like, it should have been store X, Y, or Z, immediately makes it feel like I didn't even get to enjoy this. Like, why do I have to have this before it's even something that I could be proud of?
But how do you phrase it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember how I said it. It was, it just is generally this.
Somebody praising one store does not take away from you liking your store, something like that.
Yeah, again, I mean, to swing it back to the pepperoni pizza analogy, if I say I like pepperoni pizza, that does not mean that I don't like anything else and everything else is worse than that. It just means in this instance, I like pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, but if I could like bacon pizza,
bacon pizza, but I already started with this pepperoni analogy, so I got to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, it's
look, I'm going to say, no, sometimes I get pizza with just pineapple and garlic, and I love it. And I don't care if you don't like it. You don't have to eat it.
Yeah.
You not liking it doesn't affect me liking it, and you are welcome to like whatever you want on your pizza or your hot dog. This whole no ketchup on hot dogs thing, who cares? I don't care if you put honey in your hot dog. I don't care if you dunk your hot dog in raw egg and sriracha and fry it and then put it in a bun.
Go on.
Great.
I'm listening.
You wouldn't do the sriracha part.
Sriracha I probably wouldn't, but I'm interested. I mean, they're just talking about a corn dog at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not cornbread, but yeah, just flour and egg.
Yeah.
I saw a video recently of someone doing that. That's what I was getting on mine.
But like, it's getting a little late in the day. I'm getting a little hungry for dinner.
If you want to smear peanut butter all over your hot dog and you like it, great. I'm not going to tell you can't do that it's against city policy.
No.
If you want ranch dressing at Kuma's, you should be able to get ranch dressing at Kuma.
But more to the point of, the popularity contest aspect of things, I don't like to see the store X was awarded, nominated, cited, whatever, and therefore every other store is diminished in some way. And it's like, it's not. It's just they got mentioned. That's it. That's all.
There's nothing about this piece that talked about criteria.
Yeah.
About how the stores were picked.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. And I'm curious, but again, I literally read the article to be like, who do they think is better than us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really good piece though. The photo they used is old-ish. Like we don't have the gaming section up front that we have now. It was a full shelf. It didn't have the grid wall, but everything else, but it wasn't, we still have it's after Blue. So, it's post-pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Because the Blue bookshelves the drama shelves are in the front window. But it's just the gaming section is different.
Interesting.
But it makes me wonder, where did they get that?
Yeah.
Where did they get that photo?
It's not a photo that we use a lot. We mostly just use the exterior pictures of the store.
Yeah.
When it's just a generic Challengers picture.
I've made new photos for some articles and things. In fact, there'll be something in February that I've taken. Hey, that just reminded me. What happened to that store versus store thing from Chicago Magazine that they came to take photos of in October?
Oh, I wonder.
Remember?
Yeah. I don't know.
Where's that thing?
I guess maybe you could email your contact and be like, did this ever happen?
I had to like do this whole write up.
Yeah.
And then spend hours with that photographer.
Yeah. That was a whole production.
Yeah. Whatever happened with that?
Who was the other store?
Oh, I know. I mean, I know we have a guess.
Yeah. We had a pretty strong guess who
Yeah.
it was.
And I think we're right about who it was, but yeah, no idea. Maybe it came out just like nothing.
Mm-hmm. As always, like when we ever do interviews or any sort of like, even like student stuff where, you know, a college student's like, I want to shoot something in the store or I want to interview you guys or whatever, we're always happy to do it. And the thing the thing we always say every single time is, can you just let us see it when it's done?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, if it's like a video you shot for class, if it's a thing you wrote up, whatever it is, we just want to see it when it's done. Like we don't need any oversight. We don't need any veto power. We just want to see it. And the number of times that we don't even get that is so frustrating.
It's very high. But I mean, for Free Comic Book Day last year, we had 2 different video crews come in. They both sent us their finished result.
It was pretty cool.
We had those kids in on Batman Day. They posted their video and shared it with us.
Cool.
What other? I guess there was one that a student I talked to for a while recently that I think it was just for a paper they were doing or something. So that's not a thing we're going to get to see.
No.
But we've had people write college papers about us before and then give them to us after the fact.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, some of those videos, man, the stores are so different and we're so different.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was the point in 2009 where I was not shaving my head, but I'm like, let's see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I cut it, I as Titus calls it, the prison cut. And then when multiple times, like when I was the Kingpin, when I was Mr. Weatherby, it did completely shave my head.
Sure.
And so there, one of those videos is it was just starting to grow back. I'm like, oh, that's real weird. That's definitely a look.
Yeah.
But it's in a transitional look now as well.
Sure.
Things like that just happen. But anyway, that was a great piece by MSN, and
it was neat.
We're really appreciative of it. And the other stores on the list were all happy to be on it as well. And we know a lot of those people.
Sure.
That's great. That's great. And our friend...
And if your store wasn't on there,
Forbidden Planet,
your store is still good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe someone will put you on a list.
Sure.
You're on the list.
Uh-oh.
You know what? You know what happens? You know what happens when you talk about somebody else's article? You're on the list.
Is that on Monday Night Raw?
That's just a clip, an old Jericho clip.
Has he shown up yet?
No, he's still under contract with AEW. Oh, so the Hobbs thing, and this has nothing to do with anything comics related.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
His contract expired at midnight Wednesday, Thursday. And they offered him a ton of money to re-sign, and he turned it down.
Don't they have a trios match?
Yeah, it was recorded.
Was it recorded?
Yeah, Collision was recorded right after Dynamite. It was recorded last night.
Oh, man, there's probably new champs then.
Yeah. So
what a weird team to be the new trios champ.
Well, what? No,
Hanger and Jeff.
Hold on. What if it was Hook who was wrestling instead of Hobbs?
I don't think he can. Like this is not the. Sorry for anyone who has to listen to this. The way that AEW has treated multi-person belts is so...
I'm going to cut you off right there. Death Riders.
Well, that's the thing. Like the Death Riders. So generally how it works with AEW multi-person belt.
All right, we're not going to do this.
No, I'm doing it real fast. Tag belts, trio belts. If one person in the team cannot compete, the whole team has to give up the belts. If Patrick and I are the tag champs at AEW, when we're the tag team champs at AEW, and Patrick is unable to compete, then I lose my belt too.
Obviously that I can't compete.
Patrick, you were on the shelf for like half of it.
No, in fact, you can get your best friend Juice Robinson to fill in for me.
But that's the thing. At that point, the belts are up for grabs. I am allowed to choose a partner to compete for them.
There's specific examples that go both ways for this.
There's one, and it's just the Death Riders. Then it's just John Moxley, and I think they lost them like that night or something. They were just desperate to get the belts off of the Death Riders, so they're like, I don't know. Jeff
somebody's hurt. They have a tournament and award somebody else an interim championship belt. Oh, not you, Nick Wayne.
Yeah, that RH thing drives me crazy. I don't understand why he's still the TV champ.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Hobbs has no non-compete, So he could conceivably be on SmackDown Friday
Okay.
and Collision Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But I mean, that's just a possibility, not a probability.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Also, I assume it will be like Hobbs with an umlaut and no E. Hoobs. It will not be.
2 O's, 1 B.
Maybe it'll be back to willpower.
Maybe it's the Hobgoblin.
So dumb.
Can they still call him Powderhouse?
Powderhouse. They're going to love it. They love doing meat matches with that guy. Please read your emails. Please read your emails. Please read your emails. Dal and I spent a significant amount of time yesterday going through our quote-unquote subscribers and ditching everybody who's not a subscriber.
Yeah, somebody who has a divider in the box for where their books will go, but has no active subscription.
Which means at one point they had books, that they were a subscriber, but they're not anymore. And this doesn't count the sheer number of people that sign up to our subscription service online without coming into the store that we've never met, who add books to their list, never come in to get those books, and eventually get kicked out of the club without ever having been in the store.
Yeah, 6 weeks later, I've had to email them twice. This is after they've gotten weekly emails when things come in. 2 different emails outside of that rotation to say, hey, you've not come in a month. We need you to come in. And they responded nothing. I don't understand. If it's a scam, I don't know what the scam is.
We really want to be tighter with our subscription rules, but it's impossible to convey that information because we would most likely be conveying it via email. And we know people don't read their emails. There was a subscriber who got kicked out because they just stopped coming in. Then they randomly came in to get their books after 5 months?
Yeah, they had already everything had been put out like a month and a half ago. So it had been like 3 months and then a month of whatever.
And we reiterate, every single week you get books, you get an email on Tuesday saying, here's what you're getting next week.
Yeah.
Every Friday you get an email saying, or every Thursday you get an email saying, here's what's doing it next week. People could not be subscribed to that. Like if people are not subscribed to messaging,
right,
or marketing emails.
Yeah, you can unsubscribe to stuff through Shopify.
But did they still get their Tuesday emails? Here's your book.
To my knowledge, they would, because that is not an unsubscribe from function. That is a thing where we have your email address in Managed Comics and we are sending you an email.
So whether or not you get here's what's coming out next week, here's the new catalog, here's the FOC emails. If you're a subscriber, you get an email every week that says, here's what you've gotten.
Yeah. Any Wednesday where you're getting new books, you will get an email the Tuesday before that saying, here are the new books that we're going to have for you tomorrow.
And what did that subscriber say to you, to your face?
Oh, I don't check that email. And people always say it with a tone of voice of like, I'm asking them to do something impossible. Like lift a car off of their spouse or like eat an entire boulder. It's just, I don't check those emails. Okay, we'll start doing that. Like, this is not an unsolvable problem. You are just not doing it. And it's like, we're at an impasse then. How is this supposed to change or get better?
Or give us an email that you do check.
Yeah, or just check your email.
Yeah.
Just check your email. You don't have to read every email in your inbox, but when you see one from Challengers, maybe open it because it's probably being sent to you for a reason.
We had a subscriber ask us for a big get of a time-sensitive thing. And Dal did the research, talked to the distributor, found out the costs, emailed and said, here's what it would be. You need to let us know by this day.
Let me break it down for you item by item, dollar amount by dollar amount to explain this so you have all the information available to make a decision and get back to me.
They never got back to Dal.
Nope, never did.
The next call they were
for nothing.
like a month and a half later, they asked the same question, like, hey, whatever happened? I'm like, Dal did a ton of research and emailed it to you. And he said to me directly, I'm not good with emails.
Mm-hmm. Again, like it's an unsolvable problem.
Then how are we supposed to give you this information that you asked us for?
What was the situation where this would work out in your favor if you won't listen to emails? Like, and this is an adult who works a job who probably has to deal with emails all the time. And I get it. Like, I don't love getting a ton of emails either. But if you're asking me to do something, for example, if you're asking me to order books for you, you need to check the emails when they come in to know when to come to buy them. Like, I really wanted, like Patrick was saying earlier, to send out an email to all of our subscribers, basically saying like, look, here is the link to the subscriber service FAQ that explains all the problems you might be having or things that might be unclear to you. We broke it all down and we explained it all. Like, I wanted to do a thing saying, when we send you an invoice, we are giving you 14 days to pay it. That's it. After that, we're done. I'm tired of having to spend a month and a half resending the same invoices to people because they are either A, not looking at them, or B, just not paying them. At a certain point, I have to move on. I can't keep doing this. This is time out of my schedule where I can't do other things for other people because I have to do the same thing for somebody all the time. I wanted to do a thing where if you are delinquent as a subscriber and we have to contact you to get you to come in, that was the one time we're going to contact you to come in, because at this point you understand that we send emails, that you have a month, that you got to come in and get your stuff. The number of people, including people I just had to drop, where I have spent years, the last several years, continuously contacting them because they will only come in if I have to email them and call them. And it's like, none of this has changed. We haven't had new policies.
And quite frankly, it's insulting.
We're emailing you in the same way and calling you in the same way. And again, every single time an item comes in for you, we contact you. There is no confusion. And on top of that, and these people will never use it, if you go into your Managed Comics account under pulled orders, it'll tell you what's waiting for you. There is no confusion as to whether or not you need to come into the store to buy stuff, or if you do come in, how much is waiting for you, because it's all there. But again,
down to the price.
The number of people who are just like, yeah, I don't check emails. And again, it's never, I'm sorry I didn't check my emails. It's always letting me know the condition that's happening, the state of reality that is unchanging and will never alter. They don't check emails. You can't do that. You have to check emails. You have to, like, imagine if you got a bill and you didn't pay it. And when ComEd was like, well, we turned off your electricity because you didn't pay your bill, you went, oh, I don't check my mail. Okay. Well, then this was the consequence of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and if you continue to behave in that way, this will continue to be the consequence of that. It's never going to not be the consequence. And this stuff drives me as a human being, not as a retailer, insane, because I cannot imagine using that same excuse or what feels like to this person a justification in any aspect of my life. I would never be able to say that to any company I buy stuff from, utility I use, doctor I see, traffic cop that is explaining why I got a speeding ticket or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't look at speed limit signs. That's why you got a ticket then, guy. And again, I phrased that wrong. I said, I'm sorry I don't look at speed limit signs. No one ever apologized. It's just, I don't look at speed limit signs. That's not a choice you get to make.
With how much extra time it takes to run a comic shop in 2026, it's so frustrating to have to just chase after people over and over and over again. And you want to just be like, all right, you had your chance.
Yeah, there's sincerely a point in 2026 where I might just give up on the idea of like, well, I can't change our policies or reinforce our policies because the people I would need to reinforce them to won't be aware of it because they don't read any of our communications. And eventually it'll just be like, then fine. You know?
Then fine, you're out?
Then fine, I'm enforcing them anyway.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, yeah. Like, I have to do it anyway. For example, the invoice situation. If you miss the point in the invoice where I say you have 14 days to pay this, and if you don't, I'm canceling the invoice, putting your books back out and closing your account, and then all of that happens, you had every opportunity to know that information.
Yeah.
I can't feel bad. I didn't trick you. I didn't spring this on you. I told you about it and you ignored it. That's not my problem anymore. I can't feel bad about that. I have spent years essentially coddling people and feeling bad about having to enforce our rules, where it's like, they're making this decision as adults. They're choosing to behave this way. And again, the first time you're delinquent, it should never happen again because you know what happened. You understood what happened. And yet the number of people, I have probably more than I can count on two hands, the number of people who every single delinquent cycle when I have to go through the boxes and figure out who hasn't come in a while.
And we give people
contacted.
plenty of extra time. We say 4 weeks. We give you more than that.
Yeah, I definitely pad it out because it's like, and somebody who I just on the last cycle could have dropped on Sunday, but was like, no, he's going to figure it out. Emailed today on Thursday to say, hey, it's been a while. I need to get an invoice. And it's like, there you go. But then somebody had just dropped this past Sunday was someone who 3 or 4 times a year I would have to contact and they would finally come in. And the last time they finally asked for an invoice on the like very last day of the delinquent cycle before they were going to get dropped. And then this time they just didn't, just ignored everything. So it's like, okay, well now you're dropped.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you've been with us for years. You've been with us before you were married, before you had kids. You've been with us since you were a teenager, but you just ignored me.
How are you?
What am I going to do with this? Yeah. What am I going to do with you ghosted me? Like, I can't keep saving your stuff indefinitely when you won't respond to anything.
Also, I think your wife works around the corner.
I don't know if that's still the case anymore.
Yeah, who knows? That's true. It was 5 years since we've had to use their services because I locked something and something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just frustrating. And it's
frustrating.
It's insulting that they think so little of our time.
Yeah. And I just, it's the most frustrating aspect again is I would love to clarify these rules. These are all longstanding rules or stuff that I would like to create like more of a safety net in 2026. So these things do not happen as much. But again, all of that requires me communicating with people. And the huge problem we have is that no one reads the communications, or the people who are most affecting us with their behavior don't read the communications. Plenty of people do.
Yeah,
I got open rates.
Yeah,
it's good. And people will respond to stuff, but the people who are the most problematic are the ones least inclined to read the communications, clarifying how they're acting in a problematic way.
And don't care they're not reading them, even when it's pointed out you're not reading.
Again, they're not sorry. Oh, I don't read email. Start.
Another aspect of today's business that is equally as frustrating, and this is a thing that Molly has to deal with today.
Mm-hmm.
All of the deliveries are showing up today, including how many, like 5 boxes that were due yesterday?
Yeah.
Reorders and things.
Yep.
When our good UPS driver is off for the week and we have fill-in people, like every comic shop, I'm sure, has a good relationship with their standard mail carrier, their standard UPS driver, their FedEx driver, their DHL driver, whatever.
You definitely try to.
And our regular guy is great because he tries to drop things off as soon as we open. And whenever I say, hey man, I'm so sorry it's so big this week, he'll respond with, no man, you just emptied out half my truck.
Yeah. Our good mail carrier, we have a great mail carrier and a good mail carrier. Our great mail carrier has said a number of times that like she will stop by even when we don't have anything just to make sure we don't have anything going out.
Because we usually have something going on.
Yeah. Not always, but we frequently do. And sometimes we don't get to schedule that because with USPS, you have to schedule the day before. And sometimes the orders don't come in until that day. So, Tuesday night, we might think, oh, I got nothing going out. And then Wednesday, it's like, oh, a bunch of people ordered stuff and now it has to go out Wednesday. I would like it to go out Wednesday. I just packed it up. So, a mail carrier stopping by on Wednesday when there wasn't a pickup request made is great.
We have more accountability now with our shippers than before. Whereas we signed up for a UPS program where we get too much information about every box shipping, about
every single box on email.
When it's been packaged, when it's on the way, when it's down the block, when it's been delivered. And that, like Dal said, if you have a shipment of 8 boxes coming from a distributor for this week's books, you get those emails for all of those boxes, not a delivery, every single box individually. But what that also tells you is it'll say, hey, you've got, these 5 boxes coming from Penguin Random House tomorrow. Hey, you've got these 5 boxes coming from Penguin Random House today. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's going to, they're still coming today, but it's going to be late. Hey, you're getting these 5 boxes tomorrow now. Mm-hmm. And that means that the driver didn't get to them and had to push it off.
Right.
And because this upcoming Monday is a federal holiday, both of the major distributors, Lunar and PRH, got their books out a little bit early. And they're sending them out early. So rather than coming like Friday for normal, they were scheduled today. And a whole bunch of reorders were scheduled for yesterday.
Mhm.
We got 0 UPS deliveries yesterday, which is incredibly rare,
Yeah.
especially since we were getting the tracking saying, hey, you're getting these today.
Yep.
So they got pushed off to today, as well as a sub and hobby delivery, which we didn't know we were getting, especially since the majority of that whole order,
Mhm.
the transformer can go right out.
Yeah.
Everything else on sale date is next Friday, not tomorrow. Next Friday.
16th? All right.
No, tomorrow's the 16th.
Oh,
It's the 23rd.
23rd.
So we'll have this stuff for a week extra.
Weird.
So we get that today as well. And there's a couple of projects that we wanted to start. So I ordered some supplies. It's still going, but I lost it against the...
I would have to go get like a
Sure.
napkin or something.
So I ordered a bunch of supplies. Those were all set to come in today as well. And that's like a couple of boxes of extra stuff.
Right.
So these are the day, and then you'll notice that web order after web order after web order keeps coming in.
Right.
And the UPS driver didn't drop everything off until 2 o'clock. So that's halfway through the day.
Yeah. The Tuesday night delivery from UPS, which usually we get stuff. I get to the store on Tuesdays around like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll get stuff before 11, which is great. Oftentimes we get stuff between like 11 and 1. The Tuesday UPS order showed up at 5:50 p.m. We close at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
So it was like, basically, as I was kind of winding down for the day, it's like, okay, here's the UPS delivery, which thankfully it was just some restock of some comic boxes, so they didn't really need to get opened right away. And then a very small Scholastic box, which I did the next day, and it was just 4 graphic novels.
Yeah.
No big deal. But it was still like, boy, I'm glad this wasn't the usual 7 or 8 boxes of restock stuff, because I would have to get it out of the way. It's a Tuesday night, you have to be ready for Wednesday morning, and Wednesday morning is a lot of people coming in.
Yeah.
So it can't just have like 8 random huge cardboard boxes in front of the front.
Stacked in front of the counter, yeah. So if everything that came in today were to come in on a Friday, A, I'd be really annoyed getting into work.
You quit your job.
But B, it would be doable because it's me and it's Gina. And Gina's been with us for, 12, 13 years. Gina's a pro, right? Today, it's Molly, who's also been with us forever and knows exactly what she's doing. But also new hire Kate, who's just since October.
Right.
And I don't know how Kate has been trained on checking in new product. So this is all next week's product and a ton of reorders and a gaming reorder and all these extra supplies. Like that would be a lot for Gina and I to handle, but for Molly and Kate to have to handle it in half the time.
Sucks.
Because when it was delivered and on a book club night.
Yeah.
Like I would feel bad for me on a Friday. I felt terrible for Molly today.
No control over it though, unfortunately.
Especially because you're probably listening saying, well, you could have gone in. No, I couldn't because Dal and I had a field trip today.
We did.
Which that play on words would have been way better if it was a different museum. Field trip.
Yeah.
We went to the Museum of Science and Industry for the last couple of weeks of the 60th anniversary Spider-Man exhibit.
Yeah, Beyond Amazing, I think it was called.
Yeah. And it was, and again, you just walk on my words. Amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah, pun intended. It was amazing. It was such a great exhibit. They've done superhero exhibits before.
Yeah.
But they really lean into the movies and things like this.
Yeah, like we did. There was a Marvel one that happened, and it was cool. They had a whole bunch.
That was
of stuff.
during the pandemic.
But it was,
You had to go in mass.
Yeah, it was 80 years of Marvel or whatever. So it's covering a lot of ground, and it was all encompassing. It was the comics, but it was also cartoons and movies and TV shows and all the other stuff. So there's a real sense of it trying to take an overview of 80 years of Marvel as a concept. This is just Spider-Man, and
what mainly comic books.
Yeah, like they do it kind of chronologically. If you've never been to the Griffin MSI, the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry,
not to be confused with the Griffin the Observatory.
When they have special exhibits, and the Beyond Amazing Spider-Man the exhibition is a touring exhibit. It's in 2 galleries. You go into the first one and then you finish it and you walk across the hall and go to the second one. The way it's structured,
in December 2024, we were in those same 2 rooms for the Science of James Bond.
Right. and the same 2 rooms earlier than that for the Marvel exhibit. Like they have the 2 touring exhibit galleries, and so you just go between them. But the way they structured the Spider-Man one, I think was similar to how they did the Marvel one, which was chronologically. You're starting with kind of pre-Spider-Man, and then you move into like
Amazing Adult Fantasy.
then Amazing Fantasy 15, and then like the Lee Ditko stuff, and then into the Ramita stuff, and then Los Andrew, and then into like they would show some of the movie stuff, and they would usually just have the props like next to where the character had sort of debuted in the comics. So like they had the Amazing Spider-Man movie Lizard bust around like the Ditko where Lizard debuted sort of situation. And like they had the Venom from the second Venom movie in like the 90s era where they were talking about like McFarlane and Larson and Bagley, which was pretty cool. And like that was what really made me happy, was how deep into this they got, where it wasn't just like, oh, here's a big thing of the Kingpin and here's a couple Kingpin pages. It was the creators behind it really getting into like, here are pages of a Stan Lee script that John Romita Sr. had saved, because most of these just got thrown away as soon as like the artist had used them. No one saved them, but they were in John Romita Sr.'s files.
And then they put it with the finished page, the lettered page.
And then here's, you know, the significance of, here's like when you get to Gallery 2, it's like, okay, Jerry Conway's the writer now. Let's talk about why that's significant and how young he was, and how, like, they even mentioned like Marvel was so small then that when Stan had done like 100 issues of Amazing Spider-Man, I was like, I'm going to hand it off. There were only 2 guys. It was Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway, and Roy Thomas was a team guy and he didn't want to do a solo book. So Jerry Conway got it. And even in this like very like historical kind of write-up, they were like, it's crazy to think that they just handed like Amazing Spider-Man to a guy that was 19 years old and did not have that much experience. Like, that's very weird. You would not do that now. And then, you know, the characters that were introduced in different writers' runs, and they had a very cool, the section where they talk about, like, again, McFarlane and Larson and Bagley in the 90s. They had one of the Larson Revenge of the Sinister Six triptych cover as a piece of original art. It was gorgeous. So, yeah, I mean, I hate talking about this, but if you're in Chicago and you're hearing this, you have probably a couple weeks to go see this thing before Family Week.
The last week is the first weekend of February.
Yeah, so you do have a little bit of time. And if you are in like the Midwest and want to go to Chicago, this is a good reason to go. It's fantastic. It's a really, really good exhibit. It's designed really well, too. The first room you walk into, they do these really cool things with like, you know, spotlights and some digital screens and stuff. It's just really well done. It's a really cool immersive experience.
And also, when you first walk into the museum, there's Spider-Man stuff all over it, leaving you.
Yeah, the Michael Cho designed Spider-Man stuff, it just looks great, the big banners. And I as someone who's gone to the Griffin MSI any number of times without a huge anchor exhibit, I think it's a fun museum to go to. There's a lot to do. The Zephyr train that's in the entry area that you don't even have to pay to go into the museum to see is very cool, and you can just sit around in it. The Cole exhibit is very fun.
You always have to go see the chicks,
the baby chicks, even though they're closing off a lot of the farm area to work on some stuff. The baby chick exhibit is still there, so you can see them.
So there's a couple of new ones hatching right now.
Yeah, I think it's totally worth a visit if you're in the area and you have some time. The Spider-Man exhibit's great. The museum's really fun. I highly recommend it. And if you're someplace else and it comes to where you are, because it is touring, go see it. It's great. I feel kind of bad that I didn't get to see it until the very end of it, because I feel like...
Okay, look, that's my fault. It opened last May, and we knew it was going through February.
Right.
And I had said, hey, let's put it off until December, because I really like going to the MSI for their Christmas Around the World exhibit, because it's different every year. All those trees are different every year. So let's, 2 birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 partridges and 1 pear tree.
I don't know what that means.
It's a Christmas thing. You don't understand because we didn't go this year. But anyway, I wasn't able to go this Christmas. So we'd put it off that long. It's like, oh, well, we could have gone all these other points, but we were holding off to go to the Christmas exhibit as well.
I mean, I mostly just meant that, like, I would have probably gone more than once.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like, I don't mind waiting. It's not, I'd rather go with someone who's going to appreciate it. So that's great. But if we had gone in like June, I would have been like, I don't know, man, maybe I might go back in like September or something. This is pretty fun. But now it's like, I just went and it's leaving in like 2 weeks. I don't know that I want to go back.
Yeah.
I just saw it.
I did point out numerous times, like, oh, this is where the giant tree would be. Here's where the other trees are set up all around this area. But anyway, I do plan to go to Christmas Around the World in December of this year. So there's that.
Nice.
Spider-Man's super worth it. And we're taking another field trip next week, but we'll talk about that on next week's podcast. We almost brought the microphones with us. I'm like, hey, should we talk about the exhibit as we go through it? Then we decided that's terrible audio if you can't see what we're looking at.
Yeah, we would just be describing things to you, and that's not pleasant.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of food podcasts where they're just describing. But nonetheless, we have another equally interesting comic book field trip planned for next Thursday, should it all work out well. Thanks for listening.
Keep reading comics.
This has been Contest of Challengers. Thanks for listening. Keep reading comics. Challengers is located at 1845 Northwestern Avenue in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago. 773-278-0155. Keep up to date with new releases and events at challengerscomics.com. And help fund this podcast at patreon.com/challengers.